if you're a Georgia State employee, let's talk about retirement. It's a huge topic, right? It's more than just picking a date on a calendar. It's a massive life change. So in this explainer, we're going to break down your options under the Employees Retirement System, or ERS, and hopefully make it all feel a whole lot simpler. So let's get right to it. The number one question on pretty much everyone's mind is, when can I really hang it up and retire? And, there isn't just one single answer. The right time for you really depends on a bunch of things, like your years of service, your age, and frankly, what you want your retirement to actually look like. I want you to think about your retirement like you're standing at a crossroads. With the Georgia ERS, you've basically got three main paths you can take. Each one leads to a pretty different destination. Our goal here is to map out those paths so you can figure out which one makes the most sense for your journey. So let's start with the first one. All right, first up is Path 1, Normal Retirement. You can think of this as the main highway. This is the route you take if you want to get the absolute maximum pension payout, the full, unreduced benefits you've been working all these years for. So, what does normal retirement actually mean for your bottom line? It's pretty simple. You get 100% of the pension benefit you've earned. There are no penalties, no reductions, nothing like that. It's the maximum amount you can get based on your service record. So how do you qualify for this full ride? Well, you've got a couple of ways in. If you've put in 30 years of service, you can retire at any age. That is a huge milestone. Or if you have at least 10 years in, you're what's called vested, and you can get those full benefits once you hit age 60. And for some folks on the old plan, there's another special option if you have 34 years of service. But hey, maybe waiting until you're 60 just isn't in your game plan, and that's totally fair. That brings us to path number 2, the early exit. This path is for anyone who's ready to start that next chapter a little ahead of schedule. The name pretty much says it all, right? You can start collecting your pension before you hit that normal retirement age. But, and this is important, there is a catch. Your benefit is going to be permanently, and I mean permanently, reduced to make up for the extra years you'll be getting payments. So what's the key that unlocks this early exit door? It's this number right here, 25. You need a bare minimum of 25 years of creditable service to even be eligible for early retirement. Once you hit that 25-year mark, the option to retire before age 60 is officially on the table. Look, it really boils down to a classic pros and cons situation. The pro is obvious. You start getting that retirement income way sooner. But the con, well, it's a big one. That reduction in your benefit is forever. It doesn't just bounce back when you turn 60. For example, a pension that might have been, say, $3,000 a month at age 60 could be hundreds of dollars less every single month if you leave just a few years earlier. It's a massive financial trade-off you really have to think through. Now, our third path is completely different. It's not about choosing to leave early, it's about necessity. This is disability retirement, and it's designed to be a critical financial safety net for when life throws you a curveball. This option is there for vested employees who are under 60 and, because of a permanent disability, simply can't do their job anymore. It's designed to provide a source of income when you truly need it the most. Now, the service requirements to qualify for this are very, very specific, and it all depends on which retirement plan you're in, like the GSEPS or the new plan. For some, you might need 15 years. For others, it's a little over 13. The big takeaway here is you absolutely have to check the details of your own plan to see exactly where you stand. The upside to this path is crystal clear. It gives you crucial financial support if an illness or an injury keeps you from working. The potential downside is that the benefit amount might be lower than what you could have gotten if you'd been able to work longer and build up more service time. Okay, so we've walked through the 3 different paths. So what happens next? When you've figured out your route and you're ready to make your move, what do you actually do? Let's quickly go over the practical steps for applying. Thankfully, the process is pretty straightforward. First, just double-check, triple-check that you meet the age and service rules. Second, pick your retirement date. Third, and this is super important for planning, go to the ERS online portal and get a fresh estimate of your benefit. And finally, you submit your application online. Just 4 clear steps to get it done.
So, you get the ERS system, you know how to apply, that's a huge step forward. But let's just pull back for a second and ask a bigger question. Is your pension the whole picture? Look, it's an amazing foundation for retirement, no doubt. But to build the future you really want, you might need a few more tools in your toolbox.
And here's a key idea to chew on. Supplementing your pension can give you a lot more control and flexibility over your financial future. Think of your ERS pension as that reliable, steady paycheck. Other financial tools can offer different kinds of advantages that might fit your personal retirement goals even better.
Let's just look at some of those benefits. So take something like an IRA annuity, for instance. It can turn some of your savings into another guaranteed income stream, kind of like your pension. But unlike a pension, it can also allow your money to keep growing. It also gives you more flexibility, and this is a really big one for a lot of people, it makes sure that any money left over can be passed on to your family, to your beneficiaries.
At the end of the day, choosing your retirement path is about so much more than just numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about designing the life you actually want to live. So, as you plan, just ask yourself, what is my next chapter going to look like, and how am I going to write it?